What we gonna do? Stick your hand in the tank if you want to. You got a real death wish, boy, don't you? Hip hop strikes back, feel the vibe. I am the piranha, eating the beat alive.
What up, y'all? Welcome back to the next episode of Don't Do That on Wicked Wednesday. The middle of the week, guys. We're getting there. Almost there. We can make it to this weekend, I know we can. So, for now, the weed of the day, the smoke of the ash is RS11, House of Dink, again, High Life Farms. Good smoke for sure. Gets the job done. Topics. Firing squad execution. And the witness kind of describes what it looks like. And our exonerated man targeted by Michigan Attorney General Dana Nessel by seizing his non-profit. Let's see. What you got going on?
Well, we have an update on Gene Hackman. It seems that they have actually determined what really happened.
Wow.
And the truth is stranger than fiction, man. It's really crazy. So I got an update on that. And also, Jay-Z has filed a defamation lawsuit against his accuser and the lawyer and the legal team of the accuser. Fair enough. We'll speak on that.
Rightfully so.
And then the last of my stories is Latasha Scott and Tamika Scott from Escape, the two sisters beefing back and forth over stolen money, contracts, and an illegal sex tape.
What?
Yeah. I tell you, man, Lord. I can't make this stuff up. I just report it. I can't make this stuff up.
All right. Oh, I guess on to it then, now won't we? All right, so first up, firing squad, execution. I am with the piranha.
We are playing the piranha. And I am the piranha.
So, yeah,
okay. Okay, now back to the.
Yes, now, South Carolina has carried out first execution by firing squad Friday, March 7th. Last one was 15 years ago.
Firing squad?
Firing squad, yes. Now, Idaho, Mississippi, Oklahoma, South Carolina, and Utah still use firing squads as
why?
I don't see why not.
Inhumane.
How? I mean,
in my opinion, it's inhumane.
All right, no different than
just
execution.
Just no
different than that's not how they did it. It's actually not how they did it. Okay, so they do have, however, he was in the electric chair. All right, he had a target where they're supposed to aim at. All right, black hood over his head, whatnot.
And then they just
they did have about the length of like a free throw line, right between him and they couldn't see. They could only see the mark on the chest. All right, so they were behind a thing, and they shot one. They wasn't like the bam, bam, bam like that. They shot all at once. So now Brad Sigmund, 67, convicted of bludgeoning ex-girlfriend's parents to death in 2001. Now I think that's pretty well deserving. Is no matter how the firing squad lands. The reason behind his plot was to murder parents, kidnap their daughter, and then kill him and her. Again, no matter how the firing squad lands, I'm sorry, that is definitely far from inhumane.
That's just for me.
Because he bludgeoned.
Just for me, it puts more context into how you kill the person when you speak of what they've done before you killed them. It puts more context into it. So.
Yes, that's why it's a waiting game a little bit. You get to be like, what the hell? Fire? What did this man do? Well, he bludgeoned his ex-girlfriend's family to death.
Well, when you put it like that.
I mean, now Jeffrey Collins of Associated Press saw it was like about the size of a fist. A kiwi was right there. Was right into his chest. It's like they had hit the targeted area at the same time. Like
Oh, they were all dead shots. They were
all three dead
shots.
shot at him. Yeah.
Nice.
Bam. You know, that's what they ended up doing. Now, witnesses did include, to people to be able to watch this, only 3 family members of the Larks: his attorney, a spiritual advisor, a rep from the prosecuting solicitor's office, a sheriff's investigator, and 3 media reps. Them were the only people that were allowed to be able to witness this.
Wow.
And Jeffrey Collins was from Associated Press, which was able to actually watch this happen. Now, since 1977, only 3 people from Utah have been executed by firing squad.
Wow.
I mean, I personally,
Wow.
no matter how you look at it, if you look at it like this, when somebody bludgeons, no matter how inhumane the death penalty is, oh my God, we shouldn't be killing people. This man bludgeoned. Do we have to reiterate what bludgeon means?
Yeah, it was beating them over the head.
Beating
like
them to death.
And beating them to death.
So you're talking about pain, lots of pain before death, to an elderly couple, right? So for anybody to think that the death sentence was inhumane for this man, how about the death sentence, of the unwanted death sentence of these parents?
We know that in the multiverse, somewhere in the multiverse, I am president of the United States. And so in my universe, somewhere in the multiverse, they have a law, because if I was president, I would initiate a law called eye for an eye. Which means if you bludgeon someone to death and we catch you, your sentence will be to be bludgeoned to death. And if you rape someone, you're going to get, that's what's going to happen.
Raped to death.
I'm going to strap someone up that's going to enjoy the job and not care about it with a spiked dildo, and they're going to into your death. That's in the multiverse.
You destroyed somebody's soul.
Yeah, so
doing stuff like that. So
you
your
get
soul
what
will be
you put out
removed with
because I'm a mirror.
Yes.
Whatever you throw at me, I reflect back at you, and so that's what would happen in my universe.
Yeah.
If I was president, it would be an eye for an eye law, to where you shoot someone, you get shot; you stab one, you get stabbed, and so on and so on.
Yeah, pretty much. So,
Fair play.
Yeah, go ahead.
All right. Now the story that I have, first up, is going to be the Gene Hackman story, because it is huge, and everyone was wondering. I was wondering. There's been a couple of episodes of this particular show where I told y'all I was just like
it's just weird. And it was weird.
So, all right, it is said that it's been determined that Gene Hackman's wife, Betsy Arakawa, died of hantavirus, okay, a rare virus contracted from rodent waste, rodent poop and urine. So symptoms usually show themselves as a chest cold, and they are therefore often misdiagnosed. Now, in the story, when we first brought the story up, we told you guys that these 2 elderly people, Betsy is in her 60s, Gene is 95 when he passed, secluded, New Mexico, no one around. They say it is believed that Betsy died a full week before Gene may have, and Gene may have well been unaware that she passed due to his Alzheimer's. Now that was a fact that I hadn't even factored in, that he had Alzheimer's. I didn't know he had Alzheimer's. My grandmother had Alzheimer's. I can tell you, Alzheimer's takes you out the game.
It's a death sentence.
Takes you out the game. If you don't have someone there to mind the store and you got Alzheimer's, you could do anything.
And the sad part is,
you could walk off into the middle of the street.
Imagine
burn up down the house.
Imagine dementia, times 10. So if you look at Bruce Willis and what he's going through just with the dementia and Alzheimer's that he's going through, imagine what he was going through.
Yeah. Since
it's
Mr.
sad.
Hackman died a week later from heart disease, probably because Betsy was the only person there, since they were so secluded, to be his caretaker. So he went, Alzheimer's, not thinking about where Betsy is, or saw where Betsy was, freaked out, and then forgot 10 minutes later.
Yeah, and
because of Alzheimer's. And so without her to remind him and
Take
be
his
there
blood
for him
pressure
to take
medication.
his pills. And then, of course, no one was there to let the dog who was
Caged
in a
up.
kennel, no one was there to feed that dog for the length of time that all of this happened. And so, no
And that was
food, no
probably
water.
the reason why the door was open, because, old man Gene, he probably didn't have the strength to shut the door.
Or he half closed it
Or
because he knew
the-
that.
There's no telling, and that's sad, because when you think about it, like, where were the maintenance? I don't know, but
Like
where,
I said,
how
they
do rat like
were way too secluded.
yeah.
Being seniors like that, being elderly people, and being secluded like that with no one around to help in case of emergency. Things just escalated.
Yeah, and it didn't end well, sadly.
Did not.
But he is now up there with, oh God, what is the name? Who is he up there with now? It was the
Christopher Reeve?
Yep. Him
So
and
now Lex
Christopher
Luthor and
Reeve
Superman
are now in the heavens above together, probably trying to find some way to take each other out.
And speaking of taking someone out, Jay-Z. See how I did that? Jay-Z has filed a defamation lawsuit against, I think it's Tony Busby and their legal team, and his accuser, who of course is from Alabama, and says that Sean Carter raped her at the age of 13. So of course, Jay-Z is more or less like, okay, you are now, I'm going to file a defamation lawsuit because
That's a hard target to be put on someone's back.
that is something that is going to stick in,
People's minds.
Yeah, people.
and
The court of public opinion.
is going to be like, well, you've already been accused of it. Did she really lie then, or did you make her tell that?
So the
So
defamation
that's-
lawsuit was forthcoming and, in my opinion,
And
righteous.
in my opinion, also, at the same time, since we're on a topic like this, because such a thing has happened to you years back, right? With who we shall not name, of talking about how you put your hands on them, would or whatever,
Yeah,
But
I was
anyways,
actually been accused of putting my hands
my
on
thing
someone
is,
when I was like
in
10 feet away
the
from
state,
them.
in the place that we are at now,
Hilarious.
and we have been for quite some time.
Hilarious.
When it comes to anything like that, and whether or not it's rape, whether or not it's threatening somebody's life, or whenever it comes to threatening to beat somebody up, or threatening to get involved somehow, when it comes to a black man, you cannot do that. Because that target will stick on their backs for life in the public opinion.
Ooh, man.
And personally, because when he was accused of it, and to this day, if anybody was to ever accuse him of doing something like that, I personally would lose my shit. I'm sorry, but I would. Because
It's not.
I take it personal. Because again, it's not him. It's not him. If anything, the person who gets the loudest in an argument is me. But at the end of the day, when you do stuff like that, you deserve lawsuits.
Right. False
and
accusation.
or anything coming your way
Defamation
from anybody.
of character. Bro.
Like that, anything like rape or abuse or something like that, it's already bad enough that there's already enough stuff against them. That you add on something like that, which literally makes a target on their back. It's a no-go and a no-flow for me.
Not a no-go. And a no-flow.
Not at all, bro. I don't know. I don't do, like, stuff like that is very
Bruh.
demeaning, and it shows your character. It shows your character. Like, whenever you file any kind of false statement of sexual harassment, of abuse, of any verbal assault of any sort, you are a lowest form of human.
You know what?
Period.
And she just had me segue into
I
the
can't
next
do
one.
it. I can't do it.
So, when you have accusations like Latasha Scott of the R&B group Escape wants to discuss residuals with her sister Tamika Scott. The two sisters have been estranged for the last couple of years. Issues of stolen money have fueled the feud, and Latasha has released a song speaking on the situation between them, saying that she misses her sister. Tamika told Latasha that she could no longer support her after Latasha's husband allegedly threatened Tamika with a personal sex tape that she was in on top of the stolen money and contract dispute issues.
You better check your husband, baby. You really want that?
So,
you better check your husband.
this has been floating recently in the last week on the internet, and I've been watching it and seeing how it is developing. What it looks like is things happened when they were a group.
Right.
The group split up.
Yep.
People went their own separate ways. Started yippee yapping here and there about stuff in the background. And then the husband gets involved. Somehow a sex tape of the sister with a man that she was just having fun with, I suppose. And then this threat of the sex tape gets brought out.
You're a lowlife for that, bro.
It's just
You're
like,
trifling.
can we say messy, ladies and
Very,
gentlemen?
like, you're messier than a bitch, bro.
Can we say messy?
Like, you are messy. You need a cry for attention.
So now,
And for you,
if you, there's a video, I'm sure there's here on this platform, here on YouTube. You can look up this video. Just basically, let me, because she has a uniquely spelled name.
and while he's looking
So
that
what
up,
you have to do is look up
while he's looking that up, bro, you better check your husband, bro.
Latosha, Latasha Scott. Type in Latasha Scott.
So instead of an S, it's a C.
Yeah. Well, it should be ASHA, but it's LATOCHA. So, yeah. So look up Latasha Scott, and you'll find the story. You'll hear a little bit of the song. They got a clip of the song where she's singing about this whole ordeal, and it's just messy. It's just
And y'all as sisters need to get it together.
Yeah, definitely.
And check your husband. I stand on that.
And
You
truth
should
be
have
told,
never let him do that.
truth be told, I enjoyed a lot of the Escape music and would love to actually see the group reunite, because once again, I watched a bunch of the videos, and so there was a guy on there that said he believes in the power of all four voices of that group. I agree.
Yeah.
But me, being a dreamer, I would have loved to see B2K get back together, but
Yeah, that.
I thought that would have been fire.
Little fizzle pop.
But
Little fizzle pop.
people did too much,
Little fizzle pop.
and so
Little fizzle pop.
that's not gonna happen. But if we're gonna go down that road, I would have loved to see another season of BMF. Black Mafia Family. Sorry,
But,
sorry, Lil Meech. Damn.
Yeah, bro. But you got your daddy to thank for that. At least you got one thing to thank him for.
Man.
Got one thing to thank him for. Thanks, Dad, for screwing up my opportunity to making sure that I have a good life ahead of me.
Well, he's still working. He's still working. He's trying to
Well,
do
it's all
something.
good at the point still, but
He's
thanks,
trying to do
Dad.
something. He's trying
Thanks,
to,
Dad, for ruining one of the best things of my life.
He's trying to recover. He's trying to rebound.
So,
he wouldn't
all
have
right.
had to rebound.
Exonerated man targeted by Michigan Attorney General by seizing his nonprofit. All right, Mark Craighead had spent 7 years behind bars for something. Craighead. Craig, not Craighead.
No, Craighead.
Oh, Craighead.
Craig.
Hey, Craig.
Craig.
Okay, Mr. Craighead spent 7 years behind bars for something he didn't do.
Oof.
Attorney General Dana Nessle's office is hoping to take over Safe Place Transition Center, allegedly improperly using funds. Now, he started Safe Place with his own money. Okay. As a result, he received $360,000. Now, Craighead states, everything that came out of Safe Place came from me first. The board had approved that money. Nonprofit provides housing for formerly incarcerated prisoners and our vets. Now, apparently, out of the hundreds of people that he has helped, only one from 2020 filed a complaint allegedly stating Craig had pocketed $200,000 from his organization. He stands his ground, though, saying now corrupt the system really is. He is also part of Freedom Ain't Free Act, in an attempt to bring an investigation into retired detective Barbara Simon. Accusations are perjury, allegedly detaining suspects and coercing suspects. So there's a lot going on in that, because at the end of the day, this man has already been exonerated for something he has not done. Everything has already been approved through a board stating that everything that he has put in, he is allowed to receive back, like the circle of life. You put in, you receive back. You put in, you receive back, right? So he helps out people that are getting out of prison, helping to reform them, something the prisons don't do, that say they do. Give them a place to stay. Help finding their own home. Help finding jobs. And also to our vets that serve our country. What's the point of having nonprofit when all we want to do is seize it and put it into the government state? To what, make another halfway house that we don't need? Really? You guys bore me. Really, with all this nonsense. Ridiculous. Greedy bastards.
Capitalism.
But hey, that's such a great idea, guys. Anyways, thanks again, you guys, for coming in and supporting us. Don't forget to like, comment, share, subscribe, and get notified. Okay, and we will see you next time on Epic Fridays. Enjoy the rest of your week until the weekend.
Gotta get over the hump
day. Pieces.